What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Prime Matthaus. He is the 93 centre mid that we got out of a Prime Icon pack, and he is phenomenal. From the very few games that we've played, obviously it's mainly been friendlies just to get a few more objectives done. He is incredible. Obviously, we were using his 91 a hell of a lot of times in loan. Obviously, that can be used in friendlies. But now we've had that little bit of a step up with the Prime Icon packing me a 93 German centre mid, Lothar Matthaus. What a card. Honestly, he looks fantastic. Obviously, we've got his 88 as a centre-back in his baby version. He's then got a 91 CDM, a 93 CM, and then a 94 CM. In difference between the Prime and the Prime Moment, you have +2 on the physical, pace, passing, 1 on the shooting, and 3 on the defending and dribbling. He is a 3-star, 4-star, unfortunately, but he is more of a defensive player, more so than an attacker in terms of how I like to use him. He definitely can be used as kind of like that box-to-box. You just look at this card and it screams box-to-box. Obviously, you've got decent pace already, great acceleration. Obviously, shooting-wise, finishing is a little bit lackluster, but long shots, shot power, it's going to be nice for them kind of them one-off chances. Dribbling wise, we're looking at agility a little bit lower. Obviously the balance at 81, it's doable. 91 reactions, 91 composure, and 89 ball control are fantastic. Lovely kind of secondary stats within the dribbling, obviously, and anything different than the agility balance. Passing wise, I don't think we need to go into to cover it too much. Everything is cracked on it. Very, very nice 90s. We've got good stamina, very good aggression. We get the +5 on the strength with the basic chem style, and then his defending as well looks really tasty. If we was to just keep this basic on, which is what we're going to be doing, it turns him into a 95 DM, 94 CM, or 92 cam. Obviously, the cam is because of the finishing. That is going to be a massive downgrade in terms of putting him as an overall position in a cam. That does take it down quite a lot due to the fact that finishing is only 81. If you got him up to 90 or 90 plus, you're looking at probably at least a 94, 95 card also. But we are going to be playing him as that kind of DM role that does push forward. I'm expecting big things from him. He's got the power free kick trait. Obviously, a decent career at quite a few teams with over 150 games played for 4 teams on there. And obviously the last one being Bayern Munich. Let's just get straight into it. He's coming in at about 1.4 on the Xbox and just shy of 1.5 on the PlayStation. Let's see what he can do. Well, the first opponent looks pretty solid. Team of the Year Ramos, we've got Eusebio, Inform Kante, Prime Sanchez, Diatta, Sanchez, and a big boy Pereira, Desai Mendy, Oblak, and that Prime Moment Nedved. Very, very solid team. First time I've seen Eusebio in a long time. Matthaus with the interception. The one thing you will find is obviously he is the same version in terms of player. He's got the kind of longish hair still. I was expecting to have shorter hair as he gets another interception there, but luckily, as we can see here, still in his long looks, and it's just a lovely card. Honestly, as soon as German popped up, I was thinking, this is going to be absolutely stinky. The only saving grace is the fact that there is no keepers within the German icons this year, so that is always a nice little benefit from it, but it was kind of the best German you can get. Ballack I'd have definitely took, but I wouldn't have been overtly happy with, as we find him on the edge of the box, already trying to tastily get through there. 2 interceptions, 1 shot, having a wonderful start to this review with him. Lofer's going to get the ball through into Bruno. It's a kind of a dodgy touch from Bruno. Whips that ball in. Nobody's going to be there. Matthaus on the edge. And that's always the one thing that I really liked about him. He's always floating, ready to kind of take that ball for you. And again, we find him. A little bit of a 1-2 with De Bruyne. He's going to hold it as well. He's very, very good at defending. He knows exactly the movements. Into Matthaus, though. Can we get it across? Desai is going to get that. It's very, very simple, but we still win that corner, which is always important, as you always have moments like that. Cannavaro is a cracker in the air, so if you can get the corners, and especially that easy, definitely take them if you've got your own rhythm with them. Matthaus interception. Doesn't manage to capitalise on the interception, but we're still getting that movement already, and you can tell that he is very, very good at kind of going forward and going behind, so it's going to be a cracking player to see what he can actually do in FUT Champs. Matthaus out. We see a Bruno down the wing. We've managed to get it to him. We have got Ramos chasing. Oh, that is poor. Matthaus. Just a simple one. It's very nice and easy here. Can we find Mane down the wing? It's a lovely ball in. Goes for the hit and hope. Oblak going to make the save. Like I said, always go for the corner. The main thing we're trying to get here is just a goal with a first owner player, which is pretty much everybody. So literally a goal will do it for me. And that's all we need to do to get that base icon complete. Matthaus winning it back. Can we find something finally? We're just going from side to side at this rate. Matthaus is going to try and find him Ronaldo. We can see him pushing quite high up, which may have some issues depending on how your defensive ability is. Obviously, if a player is going really counteract, or that's going to be... Oh, off the defender. Matthaus with the ball through into Palacio. We managed to get the first goal. It's lovely. But like I said, if your opponent is very counter-attacking football, you want to watch how far he is actually pushing up. As I've got him on stay back whilst attack. So that is always something to have a look at, just in case that's being too much of an issue for him pushing so far forward. And I know I'm using him quite a lot, so I'm obviously doing that kind of like assisted run. So that potentially could make that difference really, really massive, as now we've opened the floodgates into number 2. Matthaus, honestly, such a fantastic icon, and it's obvious why he's 1.5 mil still. You just know that you're actually getting a big quality centre mid there. As we find Palacio in, it's a great save from Oblak, but literally you always know an icon is going to be somewhat decent just from the fact he's held his price for so long. But this guy is absolutely class up and down the pitch, really getting involved no matter what it is. You would expect more defending. How is that not a free kick? You'd expect more kind of like a defensive sort of role, but in general, literally just moving forward with both. You see him making the tackles, you see him making the passes. Honestly, very impressed already. If it could not be any more, to be honest. His 91 was already pretty sensational. I cannot wait to see what that 94 looks like if we do manage to give him a go later on in the game, as Eusebio is going to get it in for him. Fair enough. Matthaus getting that quick interception. Doesn't manage to get through on that ball though, probably released it far too early. So going into the overall for Matthaus, as we can see, he is coming in at what, 1.33, fluctuating up and down from 1.3 to 1.4 on the Xbox, and he's probably around about 1.5, just under on the PlayStation. So a very healthy price for a prime icon. We've seen a hell of a lot of them drop massively in price, with A, prime moments being released, and B, with the mid-prime SBC and now the prime SBC. So for me, showing that the value like this is absolutely incredible, and the way to look at it is if you go onto versions on Futbin, obviously you can do this with all of them, but if you just search like this and have a look at the price, obviously you can get the order of rarity and the order somewhat of how good players are. Anything over $1 mil at this point of the game normally is decent. Doesn't mean that they're going to be game changing. Like, for instance, I really rate Roberto Carlos just because he's not under $1 mil. It is position kind of based. Like, a centre back is normally going to be quite healthy in price compared to kind of like a right mid, somewhere with a saturated amount of positions. Obviously, strikers, centre mids, cams are always going to be very expensive for the fact that these are the elite of the elite. Trying to get a prime R9, a prime Hullet, a prime Pele is very difficult, as we all know. So they are going to be that elite price. But if we're looking like a George Best, a Puskás, who actually is quite packable this year, I believe. We've got Garrincha, who again, right wing, there is a lot of competition there. Obviously we've got George Best as another icon who's up in that level. Thierry Henry, plenty of strikers out there without that huge R9 name in FIFA, because obviously out of FIFA, could not complain one bit. You then look a bit further down, you can kind of see the 7 and unders, the Essians, the Rios, the Torreses, the Stoichkovs, players who are still in that kind of top band category, but I feel like as we go over the mill, they're the top 15 as such. They're the big players that everybody wants to get to make that value back. The Maldinis, the Zidans, the Maradonas, and I think Matthaus for me is kind of in the middle. He is one that you'd absolutely take, not quite in that elite level in terms of like the name of him, like the Hullets, the Vieiras, the, like I say, R9s, Cruyffs. They're going to be like the elite bands. Matthaus is just under in a very good slot. Obviously, we have got the 94, very plain, dynamic image, nothing really too fancy for him, and I think that is kind of what he represents as such, very chill, very relaxed. That's what he is all about, and honestly, he is fantastic in this game. Going backwards, going forwards, he does it all. He is absolutely sensational, and I'm very, very happy to get this guy in my club, because as soon as I saw German flag, I literally, like I said, it was curtains. We've got the likes of Matthaus. We already have Alarm, which actually has only come to mind now that could have been a duplicate already. Schweinsteiger, who also is a centre mid that I didn't know about. I thought he might have been a cam or something. Same as Balak, another prime centre mid. So it was very, very lucky we didn't see that striker, that right back, or obviously another face across that centre mid. So I think I got off pretty lucky with that one, managing to get the best German icon you can get. And I've got two of them now, Lahm and Matthaus, both in the team, both in Foot Champs team. And look at him, just there's nothing more than a 10 that screams. Absolutely sensational stuff. He is endgame. I feel like you could go upgraded into his prime moment. He's only 1 mil more, which yes sounds a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, for the dynamic, for obviously the extra kind of card speciality, it isn't that much in terms of value. So for me, it's still a very, very sick card regardless of the version. A prime moment obviously is better for the dynamic. For myself, I always like the dynamic, but realistically, you could still get away with the prime for the rest of the game if you are wanting that. Overall wise, I think it's got to be a 10, bar from maybe not having a little bit more traits, having that 4-star skills as like just as a kind of just in case needed, and then the stats are just phenomenal. But overall, I was really happy with this card. Let me know down below if you've got him from your prime icon pack or just picked him up in general. Let me know down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.